story begins deep in a dark and creepy forest. A scared child is seen running through the woods, trying to escape something terrifying. The scene suddenly cuts to a red bus driving down a narrow road through the same forest. The atmosphere feels thick with tension, and something feels off. Not far down the road, the bus has to stop because a huge tree has fallen, blocking their path. The driver, thinking nothing of it, decides to take a different route, unaware of the lurking dangers ahead. As they continue, strange, broken skeletons appear by the roadside. The trees seem unnatural, as if something or someone has chopped them down. Suddenly, a loud and eerie noise echoes through the forest, sending chills down everyone's spine. One of the children on the bus becomes visibly frightened, looking nervously towards the road. The bus screeches to a halt, making everyone jolt in their seats. The driver steps out to check and finds a dead deer lying on the road, its eyes wide open, staring blankly into the sky. As he moves to return to the bus, he feels a presence behind him. Before he can react, a man appears, holding a gun to his back. The man forces his way onto the bus, terrorizing the children. They sit, frozen in fear. One of the kids recognizes the man from the news. He whispers to the others that this man is a serial killer who had recently escaped from prison. The killer had a horrifying reputation. He only hunted teenagers. The man claims he's mentally unstable, and the tension inside the bus grows even thicker. The driver, under the killer's orders, continues to drive, but the road sign ahead warns they are heading into an abandoned military zone. The sign seems faded and forgotten, as if no one had been there for years. The bus approaches a tunnel, still dimly lit, but as soon as they enter, the bus breaks down and stops in the middle. Panic spreads. The killer, growing impatient, accuses the driver of trickery. He grabs one of the kids and holds a gun to their head, forcing the driver to get out and fix the bus. As the driver steps out into the dark tunnel, the lights flicker and go out, leaving everything in pitch-black silence. Out of nowhere, strange and terrifying noises fill the air. The driver, trembling, shines his flashlight into the darkness, and suddenly, a monstrous shadow looms ahead. A terrifying creature with twisted features emerges from the shadows, and before the driver can scream, it grabs him by the chest, lifting him off the ground. His life is taken in an instant. Inside the bus, the children watch in horror as the driver is killed. The killer rushes back into the bus, yelling at them to stay quiet so the creature can't find them. But there's no escaping the dread that fills the bus. They need to get the keys from the dead driver to restart the bus. One of the girls is forced to retrieve the keys from the lifeless body outside. Shaking with fear, she steps out, her heart pounding. The driver's body is crumpled in a heap, and she has to muster every bit of courage to grab the keys from his cold hand. When she returns, her face is pale, and she struggles to speak. The others ask about the driver, but she can only shake her head, knowing he's no longer alive. The killer, now losing patience, orders a boy named Reggie to start the bus. But the bus engine is dead, and Reggie knows it's useless. Frustrated, the killer threatens to kill them all if they don't get the bus moving. Reggie, fueled by anger, argues back, standing his ground. At that moment, another kid takes advantage and pushes the killer, causing him to stumble. Reggie seizes the opportunity and snatches the gun. Holding the gun, Reggie points it at the killer, but the killer laughs, his eyes cold and mocking. "You can't do it," he sneers. "You're too weak." Before Reggie can act, an ominous sound echoes from the roof of the bus. Everyone freezes. The killer takes advantage of the distraction and regains control of the gun. The noises outside grow louder, and the bus shakes violently as if something huge is trying to get inside. The killer, fed up, storms out of the bus, shouting into the darkness. "Come and get me," he yells, daring whatever is out there to face him. But his bravery is short-lived. His screams are suddenly cut off, and a terrifying silence follows. The children peek through the windows, only to see the killer's body being torn apart by a massive creature. His severed head is clutched in the creature's grotesque, tentacled hand. The children are paralyzed with fear, unable to comprehend the horror they're witnessing. Without warning, the creature begins to crawl into the bus, its giant hands gripping the seats. The kids scramble to escape, but the door won't budge. One of them, holding a flashlight, realizes the creature is afraid of the light. In a desperate move, they shine the light on the creature, forcing it back. Seizing the chance, they flee from the bus and run through the forest. They run and run, their legs burning with exhaustion, until they find an old bunker. Inside, the bunker is cold and eerie, filled with strange maps and diagrams. They realize they're on an abandoned military base. Desperate to escape, they devise a plan to find the control panel and turn on the lights, hoping the light will keep the creature at bay.